The team is clearly elevating Brock's play, which you talked about, and he talked about it a couple of days ago. At the same time, points per game are way up with Brock at quarterback. Are there ways in which he's elevating the play of others?
Certainly. I think we're all feeding off of each other. I think we're all doing a lot of things well. I think we're very balanced, which is a very, very difficult thing for defenses to defend because you try to make teams one-dimensional as much as possible, and if you make us one-dimensional, we're going to be able to beat you in that way too. So the balance in which we've been able to operate, and I think certainly the more confidence he gets week to week, he certainly makes plays that have been huge for us and have certainly taken us to a next step. And I think it's been very valuable to us. And the more experience he gets, the better he gets. And so I think absolutely, he's taken his game to help others' game, just like everybody does every single day.
Thank you.
Yep.
Right, back to what you were saying about Purdy, and you've been around enough quarterbacks to have some perspective. We keep saying, a guy with his small amount of experience is not supposed to be able to make the decisions and do the things that he does. Is it time to stop thinking about him that way and just say, hey, he's a starting quarterback on a very good team? Right?
Yeah, I mean, we stopped thinking about it that way 5 weeks ago. Yeah. So as soon as he got into the game, he was our guy. And, no matter what you are as a rookie, a 5-year vet, 10-year vet, 15-year vet, doesn't matter. If you're the starting quarterback, you have to do the starting quarterback's job. And that's what he's done to an unbelievable degree. I think I saw some meme or some blurb that he's like first in every statistical category since he's taken over, which is pretty impressive. It's certainly very, very difficult to do. But like you said, he's on a damn good football team, and we've all been clicking, and he certainly fell into place and taken our offense to continue on success. And like I said, we stopped looking at him as our rookie quarterback 5 weeks ago when he took over, and and I think he stopped looking at himself like that probably when he got drafted. So he's done a great job. You can't say enough good things about him. But this season's just getting started, so now it gets even more important.
Mike, what are the challenges of playing the same team 3 times in the same season, or does it make it easier in a way because you know them so well?
I think it makes it easier in a way that, in terms of your nerves and in terms of, because a lot of the nerves come from the unknown of what's going to happen. And I think the two of us, we've played Seattle, obviously 10 times in the last 5 years in the regular season. And then this is, I think, my first postseason game against them. But yeah, 3 times in a year makes it really difficult because, there's so much tape of what everybody does that, whoever's on it the best normally comes out and wins the 3rd game because it's really a matter of we've done things well, we've done things not so well. What have we capitalized on? What have they capitalized on? And who can play the closest to perfect football? And who can play harder, who can play more physical and all that kind of stuff. And that's all it comes down to. These other 2 games, it's the playoffs now, so these other 2 games mean nothing. We're both here in the dance, and other than the familiarity of the opponent and the reps that you've gotten against them, everything can be different. So it's a matter of trying to not outthink yourself all week and trying to play a guessing game as to what they're going to do different, and just focus on how to continue to get better, and that's all we're going to do.
Do you remember the Rams doing anything differently in that 3rd game last year than the previous 2?
I don't specifically. I wasn't playing in the second or 3rd game against the Rams last year. I know for their defense changed quite a bit in terms of their front structure, the amount of guys they had in the box, the way that they were playing their techniques, because it got to a point where they weren't going to let us continue to do the same things that we've done successfully on them in the playoffs. And I think we struggled to run the ball a little bit last year in the NFC Championship game because of those things, and we had to make plays in other areas. And whatever the Seahawks decide to do, whether it's changed a couple things defensively or it's not like we've done the same thing over and over against them to win games, which I think helps us in that advantage in terms of it's a little bit different than what we've had against the Rams. So in that regard, I think you don't know what's going to go on, but yeah, I think the Rams definitely changed some things up. last
They
year.
wanted you to try to beat them over the top, right? I mean, that's what they were.
If I'm remembering, again, I didn't play in the game, so I wasn't a part of the nitty-gritty preparation of that game, and obviously when it's your last game of the season,
Right,
you don't really watch
yeah,
the film
yeah.
post.
Yeah.
So that's more for the coaches to decide than me.